where the engines roar. V-Speed's a name you can't ignore. We're the kings of the track, yeah, we run the show. Ain't nobody else that can come close. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. We don't just talk, we walk the line. While the others choke, we shine, 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 shine. Turn up the heat, crank up the sound. V-Speed's the force that shakes the ground. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. Let them try, let them fight, they can't compete. V-Speed's the fire, can't stand the heat. We're rolling thunder, we're lightning fast. We're the future, they're stuck in the past. To the last lap, V-Speed's the name they can't unwrap. We're the voice, the speed, the southern pride. With V-Speed, you know we ride or die. V-Speed's the best. We light up the screen, blowing past the rest. It's a mean, mean machine. We take the crown, leave the others in the dust. Say it with me now, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. Yeah, you know what to say, 'cause in V-Speed we trust. We're the kings of the broadcast. In V-Speed we trust.
from Lanier Speedway. It's the second annual Gobbler 150, and it's coming at you live from V-Speed. A great night of racing awaits us, and we're excited to bring all the action. Dylan Coyle joined alongside Alex Gagnon, DJ Line in the production booth, and a pleasant good evening to everyone. It's the second annual race. Jake Sylvia won it at Nashville Fairgrounds last year. And as always, it is a turkey classic, if you will. We're going to see a lot of turkey and Thanksgiving-themed race cars on track tonight. And Alex, I want to bring you into this. You know, we've talked about this quite a fair bit over the last 30 minutes, but this kind of race with all of the specificities of short track racing when it comes to late model stock racing, it makes this a must-see sim race during this Thanksgiving holiday week.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than a little Friday night short track action, and when you start putting the weight behind it like you do for the Gobbler 150, it's going to be all the more fireworks you're going to see out there. Tonight, $65 on the line, courtesy of KHR Racing. Winner going home with a nice little purse to maybe pick up that Thanksgiving turkey if they haven't already. And I think we're going to definitely see some fenders flared at the end of this one because, you know, this track, not very large.
Yeah, 100%. And with that actually also comes a $10 bonus to, I believe it's who we find has the best Thanksgiving themed scheme tonight. So that'll be something to watch out for. We're of course live in Georgia. This track is a 0.375 mile machine. I'm just excited to see these cars here. Lanier is one of those classic tracks that feels older than it actually is. It's got a historic bit of racing history there. And with the banking not necessarily being all that, low to the ground, you're going to have a lot more ferocious action going into the corners. The straightaways have a little bit of banking as well. So it's got that old school vibe with a new twist, I should say, to it. The way this is going to all work out tonight, drivers are currently going through the final few laps of qualifying here before we go to the heat races. It was originally going to be the top 5 will make it to the feature. I don't believe we're going to have any drivers that have to go to an LCQ, a last chance qualifier race. We just don't have the numbers at the moment. Still some time for that to change. But that would mean the heats are going to set the lineups for the feature race, which is, of course, 150 laps by the time we get there. But the qualifying session is done. The heats have been sorted out. Let's take a quick look at who is going to be in Heat 1. It's pretty simple. 7 drivers: Dylan Calabro, Tyler Moeller, Kyle Adams, Jace Hale, Bradley Stefan, Jesse Janes, and Matt Urban. Your 7 drivers competing in this one.
Yeah, should be a fun little group to watch here. Obviously, with only 7 cars in the heat, a little bit of room to maybe spread out, find a little bit of racing line, but you don't have a ton of time. So I have a feeling you'll see a lot of cars trying to make moves right off the drop of the green flag, because this is a very short heat, only 10 laps. So by the time you're into a rhythm, the heat's already over. So you're going to see a lot of really aggressive moves, I think, to try and get to the front here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. It's quick race, of course, with these heats, and when we do get to the checkered flag of these 10 laps, these drivers should make it around. As long as there's no hijinks happening on track, we should see it take the checkered in around 2.5 minutes. So it's going to go by quickly. We've got 4 heats, and those heats are going to fly by. Let's take a look at the track conditions right now. 71 degrees Fahrenheit in the air, while it's 72 degrees on track. That is not a big difference. The lights will continue to come up as the sun goes down, and I'm excited to see this one get underway. One more pace lap, as usually happens on short tracks, before action gets started. Alex, this is going to be a fun night of racing.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic, and we're just getting going here. And look, I mean, we've already got some wonderful schemes out here tonight. We're going to keep an eye out for those festive Thanksgiving ones throughout the evening. If you have a favorite in chat, be sure to let us know, and we'll be sure to take a look at it.
Pace car off, green flag out. We're underway. Heat 1. of the Gobbler 150 from Lanier. It's live and side by side all through the field. Some bumping, some hitting each other, going through 3 and 4. 1 lap down, Calabro with the lead.
Yeah, but not by much. You've got Mueller right there to the outside. He is trying to stay up there as they go back into 3 and 4, glued together through the opening 2 laps. Calabro trying to pull ahead and just cannot shake the 55.
Yeah, this is classic short track racing. Will there be a bit of a bump as we go through this 10-lap heat race? On board with Kyle Adams, got underneath the 55 machine of Moeller. I feel like Moeller is uncomfortable on that outside line. It's making sense early on.
Yeah, you know, the last place you want to be here, especially at a track with low banking, is stuck to the outside. You get a little bit more time on the throttle, but it's just so much longer to get around the corner. We already saw him lost out to the 71. Now he's having to try and battle Adams here. Door to door, it's a valiant fight, but I don't know if it's one the 55 can win.
Yeah, it's going to be one that hurts the 24 of Adams more than it hurts the 55 of Moeller. Moeller's just trying to survive right now. If he can stay alongside for as long as possible with just 4 laps to go in this heat, he might be able to hold the 9 machine of Hale at bay. The 24 looks like finally gets clear, and now Hale underneath the 55 machine of Moeller. 3 laps to go, and up into the wall is Moeller.
Yeah, now sideways is the 9. He goes around off a 2.
Caution is out with 3 laps to go, and that is unfortunate for Hale, who is trying to finish in the top 3, was making the move on Moeller, and we'll have to see exactly what happened.
Taking a look here at the drivertees.com replay. 9 to 55, Mueller and Hale side by side, and as they go in the 1 and 2. The 9 tries to get under there, little bit of contact, and it's just enough to get the 9 out of sorts off the corner.
Was that some contact from the 89 machine of Bradley Stefan? I think it was. Wonder if that's going to put any extra damage on that 89 for the final few laps here. I don't think that's absolutely going to be what we see. But continuing to pace around with 3 laps to go. An important note, drivers can choose the line that they want to go into during these restarts here. It's the choose cone rule. You usually see it at most short tracks all across the country. Of course, NASCAR Real World Competition started using it just a few years ago. Adds a little bit of strategy here. And of course, caution laps will not count during these heats. So still 3 laps to go as the pace car goes down pit road. Green flag back out in the air as we go to 2 to go now. Caution was with 2.5 to go. 71 leads it. Calabro, he's far and away ahead. It's still Moeller, Adams battling for second. Hale back in 6th after spinning.
Yeah, he's already looking to the inside of Janes here, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back into this lead group. Final lap, more contact. 55 of Mueller's around. Oh no, what a save! But he's going to lose a lot of positions.
That was an incredible save, but you're absolutely right. That goes from potentially 2nd place all the way back to 5th. And it just looks like hard racing between the 55 and the 24 machine. So 1 heat race down, and it certainly gave us some good indications of what we will see throughout the rest of the events tonight. P2 about to get underway. Brad Carpenter will start from P1 in this one. Justin Crow alongside Austin Demore, Ty Dennis in 3rd and 4th, with Kenny Storkson and Matt Mingo in 5th and 6th. 2 pace laps, green flag, 10 laps. And again, you know, we've got 7 drivers in the first heat, 6 in the second. We might see 6 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th. However, you know, they'll just probably send them all into the feature. Top 4 from the LCQ would have been in. That would have sent 1 out, and 1 did not even take the green in Heat 1. That would have been 7th all the way back. So this is really, even if you finish in 6th, it's not necessarily the most concerning thing because you should be in without having to go through that LCQ. Still, though, you want to put yourself in a good spot to start the 150 lapper tonight. Green flag back out into the air. Heat 2 is underway. Carpenter leads through 1 and a very wide angle. The 86 of Crow going through both sets of the corners. I don't know if that's going to help necessarily. He has some extra speed and momentum down the straightaway. Interesting battle for the lead here.
Fascinating thing about Crow is even though he did not qualify immediately into the feature tonight based on pace, was one of the fastest cars in practice when they were getting ready for this one. So the 86 has got some speed out there, and I think that's why we're seeing him still run door-to-door here with Carpenter. He is making that outside work right now. He's got a nose ahead just by a hair as they come off of turn 4 here.
You know, again, it gives us that good indication of what to expect tonight. The outside is not going to be that line that just clears easily out of a corner. However, if Crow is going to show how it can be done on the outside, he's doing a perfect job. A very wide angle through each corner, trying to use all of that middle groove up. And the other thing is, Carpenter's not leaning on him, right? These two drivers are being quite respectful early in this heat as they continue to go side by side. Storkson and Demore fighting over P3, and it's, again, too wide racing. On the bottom is the 54 of Storks and Demore on that outside. 31 starts to fight back just a little bit. Great shot from the drone cam. Almost clear on the outside was Crow. Got into the wall just a tad. This is some great racing with 3 to go in the heat.
Yeah, already a very different feel from that opening heat. There was a lot more contact, I feel like, in that opening heat. These guys giving each other a lot more room to work with out there, and you know, that'll be a very much a class of philosophy whenever they get into the feature tonight. But a good little battle here for the lead. It hasn't died down since the drop of the green flag. Crow and Carpenter continue to remain door-to-door here. 1 lap to go in the heat.
I will say Carpenter has done a solid job of coming back into this lead battle. P1, who's it gonna be? The 7 dives deep, can't make it 3 wide. Crow, Carpenter off corner number 4. The outside line wins. Crow grabs the Heat 2 checkered flag. Great racing.
And that was a quick couple of heats, but boy, that was a ton of fun there.
Man, that was just awesome. You know, if you can run on that outside of the first row, you can race, it appears, with the driver on the inside. Nonetheless, it's going to be difficult to clear, but if you can hold them there, it might not be a bad idea, especially if there's a late restart. You can think about choose cone, right? Maybe you can move up a couple rows. All right, well, it is time for the feature, and from that, it's going to be the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A wonderful anthem right there by Simon Adams, brother of Misfit Racing League Director Kyle Adams. We appreciate that. And it is time, after 2 heats, to get going with the Gobbler 150. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Jesse James will start P1, while Austin Demore will be on the outside. Bradley Stefane in third, with Brad Carpenter in fourth. The aforementioned Kyle Adams will start in 5th, with Justin Crow alongside in row 3. Dylan Calabro will start in 7th, while Michael Weissman will start in 8th. Alex Coffey, Jake Grout, your top 10. Alex?
And looking at the back half of the grid here, it'll be Tanner Berg starting off 11th. Kyle Turzak rolling off to his outside in 12th. Kenny Storkson rolls off 13th tonight in the 54 machine. Tyler Muller, 14th in the 55. Car number 11 will be rolling off 15 with Ty Dennis. JC Hale will be rolling off in the 16th position tonight. Matt Mingo, 17th. And rounding out the field, it'll be the 48 of Matt Urban.
It's going to be a fun one here tonight. If you want to get involved in all Misfit Racing League action, of course, this is a one-off, but if you want to get involved in any of the MRL series, go to joinmrl.com. Take you to the Discord server, get you involved. Let's take a look at some race analysis for tonight. As we've said, 150 laps for the Gobbler 150 here. Pit road speed will be 35 miles per hour. Every driver does have one fast repair to use. So with 17 drivers looking to take the green flag right now, those one fast repair, it could come in handy. You've got 2 extra sets of tires in pit road. Of course, the field was available for 24 total, 100% fuel tanks, and it is a open setup race. All these drivers can configure these stocks to whatever they want to configure it to. You know, late model stock car racing, it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of history in the Southeast United States. Some people like to say super lates are better. I don't know if I'd be one of them, but I will tell you, there's some good late model stock races going on all across the country. And of course, tomorrow night is the South Carolina 400 at Florence Motor Speedway. So this is a good tune-up race if anybody is a fan of that. You can also watch some MRL action tomorrow night. We'll talk about that a little bit before we go off air tonight. But Alex, this is going to be a lot of fun. This 150 lap race, I think we're going to see a lot of tight racing action.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Good enough field here, especially a lot of talented drivers. I think they'll be running each other really tight, but I would imagine pretty respectfully through the majority of this race. When it comes down to the closing laps, might get a little bit of beating and banging, but that's just the fun of racing at a track the size of Lanier. And here we go.
We are underway here, the second annual Gobbler 150, this time from Lanier, and Jesse James clears into turn 1. Austin Demore and Bradley Stefane fighting in behind for second. On the outside, Demore clear of Stefane, and it is 1, 2, 3 single file, might be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Adams clears the 31.
Yeah, Brad Carpenter's had a bad couple of opening laps. He clipped the wall a little bit down the front straightaway last time, let the 24 clear, and now Calabro going to look to the inside as well. Going to try and take that spot away from Carpenter.
These drivers are battling early on. On the outside here is Carpenter, who has had a difficult start here and is cleared by the 71. Carpenter back down to 6, but dives to the bottom of a Calabro and gets back alongside, trying to pack some air into that left rear quarter panel. Slides a little too hot into the corner, but pushes the 71 up high on the backstretch. Good spirited battle. The top 4, though, have broken away under a blanket.
And that separation is really starting to become apparent here when you watch how much the field is wadded up behind Carpenter and the 71. And now diving to the inside, looks to be the 55. Trying to clear that spot away. Might be able to get there. That is actually the 10 on the timing table of Alex Coffey. He's running the 55, though, on screen. Not to be confused with the 55 of Tyler Mueller running back in the 10th position right now.
Coffey. We look from behind his view. That's Tanner Burge in that 35 machine. This battle's 2 seconds behind the leaders right now, so already a sizable gap being formed again by that top 4. Now it's really a top 3 breakaway as we go back in through the field. Kenny Storkson, we showed him racing in that heat earlier on. He's racing for 12th right now. Grout right in front in that 49 machine.
And starting to make a little bit of headway here is the 49. Trying to find his way back up into the top 10 right now. On board with him as they make their way back into 1 and 2. On board with the 54 of Kyle Storkson. And you see, a little bit of contact there for the 49. Clips the wall, closes that gap down just a hair. And we're going to see a lot of this accordion, I think, tonight, is once everyone gets single filed, you got to really set up your shot. Try and get down there and make something happen on the car in front of you, and everyone's trying to maximize their exits as much as possible, and that's why we're seeing the occasional cloud of smoke pop off the wall here. Everyone using every inch of this racetrack right now.
It's not an abnormal thing to see. Wow, that was way too much of the wall on the exit of, I think that was turn 2. My goodness. That happened in the back of the field. Might have been Hale, might have been Dennis. We'll try and take another look in a bit, but we're working on lap 14, almost 15 of this 150 lap race. Side by side going on in front for a position within the top 10. This is Alex Coffey fighting alongside with Brad Carpenter for 5th right now. That 55 dipped those left side tires beneath those yellow striped lines through 3 and 4, trying to block both lanes. The 35 and the 31 going alongside each other, and Carpenter once again slides tight, pushes high, and is losing, just hemorrhaging spots right now.
Yeah, that 31 car did not look happy on the outside. It kept pushing up the track. More contact there for Carpenter. It has been an opening to forget here for Brad Carpenter. That just continues to look to be a handful behind the wheel right now, giving up several spots already. You got to imagine Calibro is going to look to try and take that spot away in a moment's notice here as well.
Yeah, Calibro is just ready to pounce on the 31 of Carpenter. You know, Calibro, he's been very racy through the opening few laps here, as well as in the heats. He's lost a couple of positions, but I think that aggression is going to start to show from some drivers like Carpenter, like Calibro, who have lost spots. How about Moeller right here in that 55? He just took a small peek down the inside, and he's going to get a better apex here through 3 and 4. You see, he's taking the corner entries a bit higher than Calibro, and I feel like because that's Calibro on the defense, he doesn't want to let up that inside line early into a corner. The 55 wants to go more on the attack. Might have to think about defense here, because you see that 86 of Crow, he is just looking down the inside ever so slightly of Moeller. Look at that. He sends it in. He's not close enough. Any closer, though, that could be dangerous for the on-the-attack Moeller machine.
Yeah, and that's the thing, especially when you're battling in the middle of the field early in a run. You want to be able to try and get every position you can, but the moment you make a move, if that guy's still right behind you, he has the ability just to jump in, plug the gap, and then you might be out of luck if you're not able to complete that move. So you got to know, as you see Adams there gets shuffled out of the line a little bit. He's now going to be battling with the 35 of Berg, and Adams trying to make something happen on the outside here, but kind of like we saw with Carpenter, does not seem to be liking the outside line too much, and he'll slide back in, now running in the 6th position.
Good racing here. Caution, though, and there is a spinner and a lot of commotion on the front stretch. The 31 involved, but it was the 15 of Terzak that went around first, has some heavy front-end damage, and at least 5 cars involved. We're a 1/6 of the way through this race, and we've got our first caution. Let's take a look at what happened here on V-Speed, Alex.
Yeah, so you see the 15 already looking like it was a little bit out of sorts coming out of turn 2, and then maybe got a little bit of help there from Brad Carpenter, and then everything came unglued after that. Honestly, Terzak may have got the better end of that deal because everyone else piled up around the 31 after that bit of contact.
My word, this was a Ooh, I can't, oh man, Carpenter, remember what we were talking about with that aggression level starting to grow for some drivers who were losing spots early on? That's exactly what we saw right there from Brad Carpenter. He saw the opening come up just a little bit too early. Here's another perspective on it. I don't know if that was as much Carpenter coming up as it was Terzak thinking he was clear and coming down off the corner. I mean, it's a racing incident, but it might be like a 60-40 Terzak fault kind of move.
Yeah, the 15 obviously was not fully at speed. Had such an issue getting off of turn 2 that there was more or less trying to get back up to speed there through 3 and 4. And I think Carpenter thought he may have had the run, tried getting in there, a little bit of contact, and I think he realized just a split second too late that they were going to hit, maybe got out of the throttle just a hair, and then that's when everything stacked up behind him. But the field restacked here, and we are going to be racing once again. Jane's going to lead him back in the 1.
Green flag out. Janes continues to lead the way. It was he and Demore who were fighting for first for most of this opening 25-lap stint before going under caution. Caution laps, of course, counting now as these drivers continue to go side by side here, the 35 and the 89. Burge and Stefan, excuse me. A little bit of contact. You saw some smoke. The 7 lost it. That was Austin Demore, who's now within the clutches of the 35. Caution is out again. Oh, no. Brad Carpenter is around. And I wonder if there was a bit of payback, which wouldn't be good.
It would certainly not be. We'll take another look at it here. Looks like disagreement on where to enter the corner there between him and I want to say
it was Muller.
55 of Tyler Muller. It's tough with 255s in the field, but I believe you're right. I do believe that was Tyler Muller.
Yeah, there you go.
Muller already on the back bumper here, even getting to the green, and then just
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think that wasn't even close to just a small little bump, and no, he just sent it into the corner. The 31 was it almost felt like Carpenter was dumped a little bit, and that's exactly what he's going to be feeling as he brings it down pit road for some service here. I don't think he got too much damage, but might as well come down for repairs nonetheless as he takes it down into pit road. Pit road entry is on turn 4. You go around pretty much the entirety of this short track. It's small enough where that is kind of the necessity you've got to do here. As we see from our blimp cam, the field of drivers here tonight, a really good look at what pit road looks like. Enter in turn 4, you kind of have to come all the way around, and then the exit is turn 1. It's weird, right? But it's short track racing, so this is what you're typically seeing during a short track event. As side by side they go, they've gone through the choose cone. We're about ready to go back to some green flag racing on lap 37 of 150. Alex?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the Gobbler, you know. It sounds like a lot of laps for short track racing at 150, but it starts ticking away in a hurry here as we are back under green. Janes and Demore cars trying to get around the apron as the leaders go by. That was almost an incredibly dangerous situation for the lead cars coming off of turn 2.
I think that was Weissman right there who had the tires just smoked in that rear. 3 wide for the first time here tonight. The 89 on the outside of the 86 and 24. And it's the 86 of Crow who wins through that battle for the time being. 3 wide is never comfortable, especially if you're the car on the outside or even the middle. In that moment, you really want to be on the inside.
Yeah, that's the only place you can really kind of control your own destiny. Anywhere higher up the track with multiple cars below you, you start having the fear of, all right, it just takes one car to wash up a little bit and I could be in a world of trouble. As you see, even more 3 wide deeper in the field. That time it did
We've got a
work.
wreck.
And they are wrecking in turn 3.
Indeed, they are. So we're focused on Ty Dennis with that damage on the front end. Tyler Muller has towed it back to pit road. Wonder if that's race over for him. Let's take a look on the V-Speed replay system here. Got some 3 wide. We're talking about being uncomfortable. And it was just 3 cars trying to be in a spot where none of them could totally be in. Now, why does the 55 pull over here and just end it?
Well, it's entirely possible that there could be a bit of a meatball flag coming out there, a little black and orange. Although that is unconfirmed, so I won't speculate on that too much. But yeah, no, as far as the actual incident here, it's just, it's really tough, especially with how quick that developed, to even know that you're 3 wide. I think Muller knew that he did. I think the car below him didn't realize there was another car that was going to prevent him from going up the track a bit. There it goes.
Well, 3 cautions early on. Not shocked that we are seeing some contact in the early going here. 14 drivers are on the lead lap. Actually, 16 as Storkson and Alex Coffey come out of pit road. So only Tyler Muller is out of the race, and still quite surprising. Sometimes you just feel like nothing's going right. Just got to take it off track, and that's just how it goes. Let's take a look at some of these paint schemes right here. This is Jesse Janes, of course, has been leading the race. I wouldn't necessarily call that a turkey, a Thanksgiving-themed machine, which is, it's still cool, It is still cool. If there's only, it is.
Holiday-themed, per se.
If anyone does have a Thanksgiving-themed car, then you might win an extra $10 regardless of where you finish tonight. Green flag back out in the air on lap 46. Horrible restart there for the 7 of Demore, who gets swamped by some traffic all around him. Burge into second. Calibro trying to fight for P3, gets loose, cars in behind, spinning, some contact through 3 and 4, and once again we're under the yellow flag. Oh, and a car almost flipped on its side, lands back on all 4s. That was Stefan.
Stefan almost went for a wild ride. Honestly, he may have for all entirety. We only caught the back end of that, but he was sideways there for a moment on 2 wheels. We'll take a look at the replay. Stefan there, that car on the inside in the 89, and things start unraveling in front of him here. That's Crow who's sideways. Massive contact between those 2 guys. And then as Stefan tries catching it, gets up into that outside wall, makes contact with the 49 of Jake Rout. And boy, the wall, the only thing keeping that car from rolling.
My gosh, that suspension is quite soft for it to be bouncing up and down like that. Pretty incredible that he was able to keep it going without too much damage, as we are just a couple of laps from going back to some green flag racing here. 4 cautions in this race. Of course, you're seeing all of our partners here in Misfit Racing League action. I'm going to give a quick shout out to them here. RK Setup Shop, Sticky Racing, Fusion Setup Shop, Yacht Club, Spartamax, Crow Sim Shots, Sharp Design, Misfit Production, Patriot Media, Molly's Custom Silver, Driver Tees, JSR Rentals, and of course, the title partner of this race, KHR Racing, who gave a lot more money to whoever will end up winning this one. $65 is the winner's purse tonight. And if the winner has that nice paint scheme, how about 75? That sounds pretty nice. Green flag back out in the air. 1/3 of the way down. 2/3 to go. 100 laps before catching the checkered lap car going down on the apron. That could have been dangerous. 35 and the 7 side by side. It's Burge and Demore again.
Tell you what, the 35 here of Tanner Berge has had a phenomenal drive so far through the opening 52 laps. Started this race 11th. He's all the way up to 2nd. Last restart was challenging for the lead. Not as great of a launch here. He's going to be battling with the 7 of Demore, still side by side, but incredible work to the front here for the 35 of Tanner Berge. He is up 9 spots and only 1 spot away from the payday spot.
Yeah, Berge is doing a really solid job right now. The 71 and the 7 are side by side. Demore, Calibro. Calibro has made his way up through the field right now, and he is fighting on the inside of Demore, who might feel a little bit hard done by the fact that some of these restarts have not been the best for him. He was fighting in that first stint of the race for P1. Now he's just fighting to survive on the outside of P4. Now P5 might have been a bit of a hip check right there from the Adams and Calibro machines.
Yeah, a little bit of contact between the two will clear the 71 up into third. Kyle Adams going to follow him through here on the inside to try and take over P4. 95% clear now will be. So single file out through the front four cars. Side-by-side action picking up again with Demore and Dennis there. As Dennis washes up a little bit, gets a piece of the 7. 11 had to check up a hair. He's going to lose that spot and fall right into the clutches of Zach Terzak.
Look at that. The 11 left the door open. That 15 machine of Terzak wants the spot. Almost makes contact. They might have skirted through without hitting the wall. However, Dennis loses a spot, might lose another, as Mingo in that 12M machine is right underneath through 3 and 4. Pushing tight is the 11. The 55 wants to take it 3 wide. Mueller decides against it at the last second, but he might go back for it again into turn 3 and 4. 3 wide, down below those yellow striped lines. This is what it's all about.
And there is a little bit more contact there, potentially between Mingo and Dennis. The Butterball machine strapped to the outside, trying to hold on to it. The 12 will go on by, so will Coffee, and now it is Storkson looking to the inside of the 11. Boy, that is elbows out right now here on lap 62, and down goes Dennis. He's around on the backstretch. Someone got a piece of the 11 there coming off of 2.
Well, the 11 was starting to hemorrhage some positions pretty quickly, and now we've got caution number 5 out. Let's take a look at that replay. I mean, when you got 3 wide racing all throughout, you've kind of got to imagine those tires are going to be hot. The brake discs are glowing. Things just are a bit unsettled. The 49, though, just kind of slides up into the 11, causes that melee in the back of the field. It's not the 11's fault at all right there. Jake Grout might have some apologizing to do.
Yeah, got a little overeager there. Seeing that car a little slow off the corner and just ended up exactly where the 11 car was going to be coming off of turn 2. And I think you could see the moment here. You see the 11 starting to fall back, trapped to the outside, and just trying to follow the car in front of him through. But just washed up the track a little too fast and got a piece of, then got a massive shot there from behind. I think that was the 9 of JC Hale, who really was not expecting the 49 to be losing speed in the middle of the straightaway. And I think that ultimately may have ended even worse for the 49 of Jake Grout more than anyone else.
You know, that might not have been, for Ty, the nicest thing, but it might make him a bit grouchy. I'm so sorry. That is a good paint scheme right there from Kyle Adams in the 24.
Both festive and, of course, the shameless plug for V-Speed.
War.
Big fans for it up here in the V-Speed booth.
Yeah, so War Turkey certainly is would it be fair for Kyle to win the $10? Because that is not only the best one, but so far the only one I've seen that is that Thanksgiving.
Well, we also have the Butterball one there for Ty Dennis.
Okay.
We've also got a little bit of festive activity there from the 11. Big fan of that going into it. I think there's 1 or 2 more potentially throughout the field, but yeah, so far not a ton through that grouping as we're getting back up front here. It's Terzak and Janes.
Well, with the green flag, Terzak has been tearing through the field, and sliding up was Janes, puts Terzak into the wall. It's the first mistake we've seen from Janes so far tonight, and opens the door for Berge to come down, almost get into the inside position. He is now ferociously chasing after the 60 machine.
Yeah, looking to try and get to the back bumper of the 60 there. Is that, I believe it's a late model Acura, which I don't know if I've ever seen personally, but the 35. Door-to-door right now with Terzak trying to get down into 3 and 4. Door-to-door action here between the two. Calibro sitting in the wings, waiting to see who triumphs over this battle for second right now. Going to try and follow that person through. Alex Coffey rounding out the top 5 as they run here as we near the halfway point of the Gobbler 150.
I don't hate the Acura, but it stands out. It's noticeable. That Acura insignia, and is certainly putting some good racing moves on here. Got a little bit tight, entered too shallow through 3 and 4, gives the edge once again to Terzak, who pushes tight out of corner 2, but is so close to making the outside line work for him. He just needs that 35 to make one more small mistake. Let's join this action back for P6 outside the top 5. Demore Mingo has the 49 of Grout down the inside of that 12 car of Mingo. So multiple drivers here, all fighting on the inside, on the outside. The outside is a spot you can hold on to. Almost 3 wide. The 74 sees a gap, will slide through, have to turn the wheel to the right just to save it, but could not make the move work yet. But what I was saying, Alex, the outside, you can make it work, but you're not going to make moves by clearing drivers down on the inside.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing a lot of right now. Is you see a little more action there. Mingo and Weissman door to door. That's the battle for the 8th position right now. And you see Mingo not really pulling away from Weissman at all, but when cars on the inside have made a mistake, drive it in a little bit too deep, wash up out the corner, that's when they've been able to capitalize and take that spot away. And it's also been really good at holding people up if you're able to stay locked in with them. But you see Weissman clears there. And now Adams looking back to the inside. You got the 54 of Storkson just behind him. Kyle Adams going to try and work his way back up to the front of this group. We know he's had the pace to run in the top 5 tonight. I think he came down pit road that last time by, and now he's trying to work his way back up.
Well, the War Turkey is gobbling his way up into the top 10, trying to make it by Mingo for 9th. Has that inside spot. Theoretically, it's the spot you want to be on track when racing side by side if you want to clear a driver in front. And the 24 seems to have just done that, up into 9th for the Misfit Racing League Series Director. We're already past the halfway point here of the 2nd annual Gobbler 150, and Janes has led all night, but Tanner Berge down the inside. Is this going to be the first lead change of the evening? It seems like it will be. The 15 of Terzak wants to get involved on the action. Berge leads lap 82.
And he might be leading a whole lot more here. Oh, the caution's out with the 35 of Berge ahead. So he'll definitely be leading a few more, but the caution was out deeper in the field. I want to say Ty Dennis was caught up in something there in the 11 machine. And that was coming off of turn 2, I believe.
I think you're right as well. The 11 brings it down pit road. Let's take a look at the replay here. Running second, last car on track. And I wonder if there's, oh wow, there was a slowdown in front.
Oh.
And then a checkup. It's kind of like when you're on the highway and you're working through, a bit of a log jam up in front on the highway. One car brakes. You see there was a slide right there. Was that the 54 of Kevy Storkson?
It certainly seemed like it. And then everything kind of accordioned back from there. Take one more look at it here. Yeah, he gets real loose, tries catching it, and that's where everything gets a little bottled up. Ultimately ending up in a bad situation there for Ty Dennis. And that butterball is getting tenderized right now.
I like all these Thanksgiving puns that we're throwing out here tonight. As the one supposed routine stop has just occurred for most of the field, just past the halfway point of this race. And with all of them taking action down to pit road, they'll have fresh tires for the most part. Some drivers, though, of course, stayed on track. That is, I believe, the top 6. We'll have to confirm that. But Dylan Calabro is going to be leading this field. Well, if he didn't just blink out of the server, that would not be good as they're going with another lap to go. Did Calabro just blink out of the race right as he was about to... He's showing us the last car. I think he's gone. Oh, that's a shame. The 74 has taken away Calabro's spot. And that is, I was just about to be really excited for a fellow Dylan to be leading this race, but unfortunately, Dylan, your internet did not agree with our assessment there. Green flag back out into the air. Weissman and Coffey in the lead of this race. And what a break for Weissman. He takes away P1. I mean, that was just spectacular timing for him. He was starting on the inside of row 2, and that just gave him a golden opportunity to take away first. But battling down the inside is Coffey. Alex Coffey. It would have been an Alex and Dylan front row.
Yeah, we would have had a little bit of broadcaster bias up here. I have no doubt about that. But I might still have just a wee little bit of it here as Alex Coffey looks to the inside of Weissman for the lead. Has about a nose ahead going into 3 and 4. Now making about the full length of the car. Coming up out of the corner. New leader here after lap 91. Alex Coffey to the point. Brad Carpenter, after a roller coaster of a night, finds himself running in P2.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what the drivers... Oh, no! A brash move down the inside leads to a caution and a big hit for some of the main competitors in this race. I believe that is Matt Mingo around the 49 machine of Jake Grout as well. Some heavy contact there and too much aggression into the corner.
I think a lot of those cars who pit realize that they need to start trying to make some forward headway, and just everyone's sort of running out of time. The move there off of 4, you see Jake Grout try getting to the inside of Kyle Adams, and just it did not end well. 49, heavy hit there. He was really ambitious, I think, there, trying to get to the inside of Adams, coming off of turn 4, and it did not work.
Yeah, it did not work whatsoever there. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, sometimes, man, that's just...
Got to the corner and turned him.
Yeah, that's too much aggression right there. Just sliding up, getting tight through the corner. Listen, I get it, right? Everyone's just, jockeying for position in a restart, almost going to that final third of the race, but sometimes things happen. We're going to be right back here with the final 50 or so laps on V-Speed from the second annual Gobbler 150.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Green flag back out into the air. Lap 99. Coffey leads the way. Terzak in second. And Brad Carpenter is fighting for P3 with Tanner Berge up from 11th place, fighting for third right now in this race as we hit the 100 lap mark. A swap over attempt. Terzak will have to defend from Coffey now as they fight tooth and nail for the lead of this race with 50 laps to go.
That was a nifty little move there from Alex Coffey, dropping down to the inside last time around on the back straightaway. Did not work out for him, though. Still trails Terzak now with less than 50 to go. And things get real angry behind him. A hornet's nest of cars here in the middle of the top 10. All bouncing off each other, bouncing off the wall. There is no give, and it is all take out there right now. Kyle Adams and DeMoore, that is the battle we're seeing right there for P5. But he is just the second row of 3 straight side-by-side battles.
Top 11 drivers on the lead lap of this race. 3 trapped a lap down. That's where we stand on lap 104 of 150. 47 laps remaining, and there is some traffic up ahead potentially, as this race continues, if we go through the next 50 or so laps completely green, traffic will be a factor. What's happening to the 49 now?
Jake Grout gets up, washes way up to the outside wall. The field will go on by. And I don't know if that was by choice or inadvertently, but just went all the way up. The field will go on by, and Jake Grout settles back into the tail end of the field.
Oh, what happened there?
Just brought it down to pit road.
I think not only did Grout bring it down to pit road, though, he wanted to try out one of the, was that the way station in the infield here at this short track? I'm not sure. We're racing at Lanier, and it's been a great show here. Lots of good side-by-side racing. The outside line is not necessarily as underpowered as one might think on a short track. It's just not suitable to make moves happen for a long amount of time. But the racing, while we have been under caution a fair bit, it has been very fair by and large. It's been a great race here. And the question is, who's going to join Jake Sylvia as a Gobbler 150 winner? We're going to find that out in around 41 laps time. Terzak half a second in front of Alex Coffey right now, doing a really, really solid job here. Let's take a look right on board with Michael Weissman, who dropped one position from the start of this race and did lead 3 laps earlier on during one of the caution periods. Right in front, Mingo tags the wall. And you know what? It's a late model stock. That happens.
Yeah, there's only so much racetrack you can work with here, so you see Weissman taking a peek to the inside of Mingo. Through 1 and 2, nothing going that time by, but as long as he keeps them in his sights, going to keep trying to working on opening that door to potentially find a way by for that 8th position. As we jump a little further up here, that is Brad Carpenter running in the 4th position. Lost out on that battle to Tanner Berge. The 35 will settle into 3rd. Carpenter back to 4th. I don't know if there's been a car that has had as much adventure back to front the way the 31 of Brad Carpenter has tonight. Got caught up in a couple of really early incidents, fell way to the back of the field, and as this race has progressed and the attrition has kicked in, he has worked himself back into a top 5 position.
Yeah, he really has done a solid job tonight. Of course, certain cautions falling when they have certainly helped more drivers than it's hurt throughout this race. Top 10 right now, all on the lead lap. We saw Janes leading much of the first half of the race, but currently he's back in 7th. Just shows how important track position can be sometimes at Lanier. And of course, as this race continues on into the final 33 laps of it as they cross the stripe this time by, I don't know, unless there's more cautions, more incidents, and some traffic, I don't know how much we're really going to see drivers drive all the way back up through the field if you're in a spot like Jesse is right now.
Yeah, led all those laps up front, starting to fall back just a little bit here. Trying to find something here in the closing laps, but right now nobody has anything. The race leader, Kyle Terzak, who, he's won 2 of the opening 3 races in the Misfit Touring Series that will run on Saturday night. So tomorrow night, that next race of the season kicking in. But it's been a good start to the year for the 15 of Terzak, winning 2 of 3. And he looks to be in control here. He's up from 12th to 1st. And kind of snuck up there up until the last couple restarts. And now he's got some clean air on the nose of that race car. You can forget about it. He is checking out from the field. Alex Coffey, the only person in the same zip code as him right now. Less than a second behind, but now from there, it's over 2.5 seconds back to 3rd place Tanner Berge.
Well, I will say this, as a matter of fact, we haven't seen the potential of a long green flag run from where we last got going on the last restart to the end of this race. We haven't seen a 35, 45 lap run to the end of anything. So far, the longest green flag run was 25 laps at the initial start of the race. So we don't exactly know how tire life will be, how the cars will handle balance-wise, especially with these being open setup cars, until we see a longer green flag run. So yes, Terzak has checked out. He is a second ahead of Coffey, but that could change as the race goes on. This is a spirited battle, though, between Berge and Carpenter. A lot of drivers within a few tenths of each other everywhere outside the top 2. And Carpenter will exit a bit lower, not get the best run, but it gives him an opportunity to maybe get alongside, at least for a moment, to make Coffee or Berge think about, taking a different line into the corner.
Yeah, and all it takes is that one little bit of hesitation on where you're putting your own race car into the corner to give an opportunity for the guy behind you to try and make a move. You need to be confident that wherever you put the car, not only is it going to do what you need it to do, but you're not going to give the car behind you an opportunity to make something happen against you. So far, solid defense from Berge, but he is under a lot of pressure right now. Brad Carpenter refusing to let him get away here. And these two, even though they've been battling nose to tail a good bit of this run, they are also now starting to pull out a little bit of gap over Kyle Adams, because Kyle Adams has had his hands full here trying to hold off Austin Demore.
Seeing all of these battles going on still, as late as we are in this race, it's pretty awesome. We don't always see in big track racing, the closeness of these types of battles. We don't always see as much respect being given all across the field as we have seen tonight. Yes, again, we've been under a good amount of cautions, but it hasn't been because drivers are showing their tempers. It's just been small mistakes here or there. 9 lead changes in the race, 7 cautions flashing up across your screen. And as we wind down, we're in the final few laps of this race. It could all be over the next 3 or 4 minutes. And I got to say, it's been exciting, Alex. It's been a good race.
It has been a fun one, and it is not done yet for several of these drivers. The battle's continuing to go on here between Berge and Carpenter. You see the gap less than 0.3 of a second right now between the two. Carpenter, those opening laps, it looked like he was having a really tough time with the race car. It seemed really tight, and now, I guess now the track conditions have changed a little bit. He's being able to run the line he wants to run. That car looks to be handling significantly better, and he is on the prowl right now. It's only a matter of time, I think, before he tries to make a move here on Berge.
Yeah, with the laps winding down, you want to pick the spot to make the move. If you make it too early, you might have another shot before the end of this race, but if you wait too late, you kind of, handcuff yourself to one move for the spot, and that's it. It is a big thing to be in the top 5. It's an even bigger thing to have a podium finish. Even in late model stocks, it's the iRacing world. Top 3, that's who we talk to at the end of the day. This is a good battle, though, for 6. Jane's trying to make it back up, and he slides up. I think he got that rear end a little bit uncomfortable. It almost slid out from under him. The one thing Terzak does not want to see right now is a caution.
Now, that is the last thing he wants to see. Nearly 2 seconds clear of Alex Coffey. 10 laps to go next time by. He is in full control of this race and is just hoping this thing makes it all the way to the end. Jane's now going to try and drive it in deep, trying to get around Demore. Not able to get the exit he wanted, though. Good exit from the 7. That'll keep Demore ahead for now in that battle for 6th. Matt Mingo, one of the big movers of the race so far, up from 17th to 8th, currently lurking just behind him, trying to find an opportunity to snag another position or 2 before this one's over.
The 60 is trying, with a wiggle, to recertify himself in this race. If he can get this spot, I feel like that's the most he's going to be able to gain. Look at that throw into the corner by the 9 of Hale. Looking down the inside of Mingo, can't do it there. We're coming to 7 laps to go, and this battle isn't in the top 5, but it is at the tail end of the lead lap cars. The 35 and the 31. This is for a podium spot. Berge still holding on to P3. Brad Carpenter, there's not much more he can do to now take that position back.
Yeah, he was right there, but now that gap's opened up to nearly half a second. Berge looks to be in control. 5 laps to go this time around, and you see Janes now still to the inside of Demore, not able to make it work. The 60 fading back just a little bit. Demore may have weathered that storm temporarily, but now a bit of contact. A little bit of short track racing here coming to the checkers.
I think you're going to see a little bit more of that as this race winds to its final 4 laps here. This is only for 6th place, but they want all the spots they can possibly get. The 7 up high, trying to hold off the 60. You can't do that. We've seen that outside line work defensively. You can't really clear drivers. Oh, he almost body checks the 60. He himself pushes us up high, and this is awesome racing with now 2 laps to go in the race. Terzak still leads by 3 seconds. The 7 of Demore inches ahead going into turn 1.
Yeah, and a great little battle between these two guys, but the white flag's out, and I don't think anyone's going to catch this 15.
Kyle Terzak has been on it in the final third of this race. He wins the 2nd annual Gobbler 150. Coffee will follow in 2nd, Berge 3rd, and Brad Carpenter will finish it in 4th, and Janes just squeaks in front. Or I think Janes officially squeaks in front of Austin Demore. Our timing screen swapped them twice after the checkered. Wow, what a great bit of racing, and Kyle Terzak wins it.
And the moment they got a little bit of clean air on that race car, he was gone. Leads the final 51 laps of tonight's event. Oh, he was flying in that closing stage. He came down pit road a couple times in the early going, and that was what kept him kind of toward the back. But when he made his move, he did not miss, and now the Polish victory lap from Kyle Terzak.
You always love to see that victory lap celebration, of course. Alan Kulwicki, the first one to put it in the mainstream, and Terzak showing it off for good. Stops at victory lane, and this gives us a moment to take a break here on V-Speed, the 2nd annual Gobbler 150. We'll be back with post-race interviews.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
What a great 150-lap race in the 2nd annual Gobbler 150. Kyle Terzak, he led the final 51 laps, started in the back of the field en route to this win, and alongside him is the rest of the finishing order. Alex Coffey started 9th. How about that? Tanner Berge as well in 11th. The podium consisting of drivers who got up there through some smooth driving and some luck with strategy and cautions. Brad Carpenter in 4th, exactly where he started, as well as Kyle Adams in 5th. Oh, Jesse James, he would have liked to have a bit better luck there. He finishes the race in 6th after starting it on the pole. Demore in 7th, Mingo 8th, Hale 9th, and Weissman in 10th. Those are your drivers that finished on the lead lap. Ty Dennis and Bradley Stefan finished 1 lap down, while Kenny Storkson 7 laps down. The rest of the field had a much worse run at it. Grout, Calibro, Crow, Muller, and Urban, who did not take the green flag, are your drivers that took part in the Gobbler 150. All right, it's time to talk to our top finishers tonight, and who better to start with than Kyle Terzak. Kyle, you led the final 51 laps en route to that victory, and once you got clean air, you just scooted on away. How'd you get there? How did you go all the way up from really the double digits, the back of the pack, to winning this race?
Ryan Kuhn. We started in the back because we got pole and the invert was 12, so that kind of hurt us right there, and knocked down the fence on lap 20 or something like that, and I was just really tight, and then I wrecked myself off of Brad's nose, and I knew that put us back a lot, so I guess we had 2 sets this race, so I took the first set because I knew I had to get track position, and I thought everybody was going to pit, and I thought I was going to be screwed, but we all pitted at the same time, and we had this 4-car stay out right there, and it just played perfect for me, I fought on the top, fought on the bottom, just overall a great car.
Well, it felt like, as this race went on and you saw all the hard racing happening in behind you, you almost go through those final, let's say 30 laps. The pressure from in behind. It's not necessarily right in tight. You don't see any lap traffic in front of you yet. Do you ever get through moments where sometimes your concentration, almost, you got to remind yourself, no, we got to stay completely 100% focused here. This race isn't over.
Oh yeah, for sure. We were coming up on those lap cars, and he was loose, and I was like, all right, what do I need to put this lap car? And it was just a whole bunch of stuff going through my head. But I knew as soon as I got in front of Alex, he had those old tires, and I knew I had the advantage. So I just put my head down, knocked some laps down, and I knew that as soon as he got in second, he would have my dirty air and start pushing up the racetrack, which is exactly what happened.
Kyle, I'm going to give you the floor. Who do you want to thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, I want to thank Kyle Adams for putting this event on. I want to thank you guys for the broadcast. Great announcement tonight. I want to thank RKM Sub Shop for everything they do for me. Cross Some Shots. Terzak Racing, and everybody back at home who's watching.
All right, so what are you going to do with the money, of course? $65 that you won, of course, that purse upped by KHR Racing.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I got 200 from this week so far from Sarah, so that's 65 bonus. So I don't really know. I have to see. Maybe get a new wheel, maybe with that money. Put that into that, invest in, because I'm just on the G920, just old school.
Well, man, that old school machine certainly helped you to the Gobbler 150 crown. Congratulations to our race winner, Kyler Terzak.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
I said Kyler Terzak. That's horrible from me. One time, I'm going to go quick story time right here, Alex, before we bring in your Alex friend and Alex Coffee. When I worked a few years ago for the World of Outlaws, there was a Chris Simpson and a Chad Simpson that I believe those are their names. It's been a while. They were brothers, and I was interviewing one of them during the redraw. Well, I called them the wrong name. I called them their brother's name. They corrected me. I laughed. I didn't listen to what they said, and I still called them the wrong name. I didn't realize that until hours later, and I was so embarrassed, just not in the moment. Doesn't compare to calling Kyle Kyler, but you know what? I just needed to bring that up. Alex, I'm going to give you your second place finisher and your name comparison. Alex Coffee.
All right, joining us now, second place finisher, Alex Coffee. Alex, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Well, second place tonight, started ninth, led 9 laps, ultimately coming up 1 spot short, though. Feels like you got to the front, and then the moment it felt like you could have used one more caution to get back into this thing, they decided to run green to the end.
Yeah, early on, I was kind of getting up front, and then I realized didn't have enough fuel in it, so we took fuel and tires around lap 30, and then after that, I was planning on pitting again, but not quite where everybody else pitted, and then the majority of the field went, and I knew it was going to be a tough fight. I was hoping I had a little more of a buffer with other guys on older tires up there with me, but Turzak ended up getting to choose outside of me, and I pretty much knew it was going to be a hard fight from there. But yeah, I could have did a little bit different, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure. I guess that would be the follow-up question of if you could go back to that moment, would you have pit at a different time?
Yeah, I would have pit with all those other guys. I think the majority of the field pitted there around lap 80, and I was still on tires from lap 30 something. So definitely would have pitted with them. Probably would have only took right sides, but it definitely would have gave me a little more to lean on there at the end. Last 20 laps, I fell off bad and was just pretty much trying to hang on the second.
Well, and that you were able to do. There is no doubt about it. You, in that battle, had cleared a good chunk of the field before that was falling back, before you had to worry about falling back to anyone battling for third there. Alex, one more question for you tonight before we get to any sort of shout-out opportunity. How would you, just as a whole, 1 to 10, rate your Gobbler 150 experience tonight?
I'd give it a 7.5. I had fun. It was a lot of fun. I always like racing linear and anything in late models or super late models. So fun to run these one-off events and just come out here and pretty much not have much on the line. Just out here for fun, and yeah, definitely had fun.
Alrighty. Well, Alex, anyone you'd like to shout out here tonight?
Oh yeah, shout out to my teammates Nigel and Blaine. They were spotting for me and whatnot, and everybody tuned in to watch. My mom's watching out there, and y'all for putting on the broadcast as always.
Alrighty, Alex, thank you so much for joining us up here in the booth. Congrats on the P2 tonight, and excited to see you go back to work here tomorrow, potentially.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
And that was second place finisher Alex Coffey, who came up just one spot short, but I tell you what, he had one heck of a run tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, he absolutely did a spectacular job tonight. As I think right now it's time to talk a little bit about Tanner Berge, who finished in P3, but he's not with us in the broadcast booth. So who we're going to bring in, who we're going to call is Kyle Adams, because that turkey machine was unbelievable. The War Turkey gobbled up some of the competition there to finish in fifth. And Kyle, I think you've won the $10 for the best dressed.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that's a fun reaction. You put in some work, you put in some effort. It's the War Turkey, as we're showing on our broadcast screen right now. And is this a special design just for this race?
I'm sorry, say the question again?
Was this a special design just for this race?
Yeah, actually,
We love it.
it's just for this race. We asked everybody to do Thanksgiving and turkey themes, and it's hard for people to throw some schemes together. Unfortunately, the spec map didn't work on this one. You're supposed to be able to see some pumpkin pies, some turkey, pilgrim hats. I mean, you name it. It was in the black on the car, so it's all good. It still turned out. Got the red, white, and blue fall leaf themes, and then, of course, the War Turkey.
Man, well, it was fantastic that you won your own money there. But let's talk about the best run, or one of the best runs of the night, from where you've had a lot of incidents in this race. Not really your fault at all, but you kind of went back and forth a bit. You found yourself at the top 5 spot. A lot of that because of your run late on. Just take us through the night.
Yeah, tonight I tried something different. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to have a set the run for this race. So, co-owner of the league, Jake Sylvia, winner of the first Gobbler, we actually spent a couple days this week building a set just for today, and that's what we ran in the race. So, while I'm on RCAM and all that, I've been practicing all week on this JSR set. So, put that on the car. It drives different. I'm still learning through it, and this is a very active race, a very fast-paced race. There's not a lot of time to think under caution because, I mean, you're around that track so quick. So, I was just trying to remember what Jake said. Take it slow, lap by lap. don't burn your tires up. Let everybody else, drive around you if that's the case, and just don't burn up your stuff. Now, we did have extra tires in the pits, so I did pull off, I don't know, maybe the 5th caution in around lap 68. I took right sides, and then car felt great from that point forward. The pretty much the whole field went in the next caution, so that shuffled me up up from the back to the front. I think I started like 8th. So from that point forward, I just locked in and tried not to burn up what I did have, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to take the second set. It's not really needed. So just wanted to make sure, just to finish as close to the front as I could. I wanted the top 5, so I'm happy that I made that.
Well, congratulations on that top 5 finish, and hey, congrats on being best dressed in class.
Really appreciate it. I do want to give a quick shout out to KHR Racing. They're the ones that helped pretty much double the winner's pot tonight, so they're going to be winning $65. And also want to thank Pro Sim Shots for all the photography he does for not only our leagues but the whole community. Patriot Media for helping us with our social media posts, and then you guys, because you guys put on the absolute best broadcast that we could potentially have. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you to all the drivers that showed up today, and yeah.
Well, that's much appreciated. Your kind words, Kyle. Congrats once again.
Thank you.
Well, that will do it here on V-Speed for tonight. But tomorrow, the Misfit Touring Series goes into race number 4 at the famed Myrtle Beach Speedway. Of course, can't race it in real life anymore. You can race it in the virtual world of iRacing. If you were ever lucky enough to get a chance to go to that track, and consider yourself one of the many to have seen it in its glory, and unfortunately not around anymore. But you can see it in virtual world tomorrow night, 8:25, Saturday night racing here on V-Speed. But Alex, your final thoughts on tonight's action?
The second annual Gobbler 150, I think, lived up to the billing. We had a ton of fun out here tonight, or at least I did. I can't speak for everyone, but I had a blast being up here watching the late models go to work tonight. And ultimately, it seemed like an event that at the beginning, it seemed like James was just going to be in control the whole night, and then we got about halfway through and everything got dunked on its head. And lo and behold, it's Kyle Terzak who goes to victory lane, and he'll be looking for his 3rd win of the Misfit Touring Series tomorrow night. So we'll see if he can go back-to-back.
We will certainly see if that is possible. But to all of our watchers on the V-Speed YouTube channel, we appreciate you. This has been a Misfit Racing League, a special event, the 2nd annual Gobbler 150. Of course, Kyle Terzak is the race winner by almost 4 seconds over Alex Coffey, joins Jake Sylvia as a Gobbler 150 champion. My name is Dylan Coyle. I was joined alongside Alex Gagnon, DJ Lion in the production booth. I want to wish you all a pleasant good evening, good night, and good gobble gobble racing.
We got the wheels that stand so bold, roads of fire, never cold. Chasing glory, feel the rush. This Misfit crew you can't hush. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit Racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder in the storm. Watch us whirl. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combined. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a roaring coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Burn the rubber, feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Racers bow to Misfits call, with a giant standing tall. Engines roaring loud as thunder, speeding past leads the worker, speeding past you in our plunder. Feel that rebel heart ignite. We own these streets under the night. Misfit racing leads the way. Other leagues got nothing to say. We're the thunder and the storm. Watch us whirl. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track. Other teams are left in the back. Adrenaline and gas combine. In this madness we all shine. Feel the heat as we approach. Victory's a rolling coach. Checkered flags are all we see. Misfits rule eternally. Burn the rubber, feel alive. See the sparks as we arrive. Adrenaline and gas combine. In this madness we all shine. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. This is our norm. Tires screaming on the track.